Welcome back. We're here to cover the divine feminine update. I just had to step away from the computer so that I could get the clarifiers. My intuition was telling me we might be digging a little bit deeper, so they're there should we need them. Now, the first thing I'm picking from your read, Divine Feminine, is that this portal between the two eclipses, and psychically what I'm picking for you, is you are going through metamorphosis. So you're going through this spiritual change, and both zodiac signs where the eclipses are really between last month and this month as we move through the gate very much can link to, it is divine feminine energy, it is Venus energy, but it also can be more the masculine attributes of things. So I do see you, especially from the past, really over the last, I would say since last year, really been transforming quite a bit. Now, this can be anything down to your belief systems inside of connections, any hard things, really that have happened, and how you related to relationships in general. There also could have been some dramas really where it came, and I keep seeing the Justice card, especially relating to this eclipse, the Justice card. Now, it doesn't mean to say necessarily as soon as this lands we are going to feel such, and some of us may have felt this energy last month because signatures do play out ahead of time. But with this crowning energy, this card drops down to an 8, which is quite Pluto in nature. And we're having this moment at this point in time, especially this year in 2024, where we're going between two vibrations. And that is the vibration. I'm noticing the snake, which is quite interesting because we are moving into the year of the snake next year, is that it can bring anger up, okay? So initially, the reason I called this From Darkness Comes Light and Justice is, what does justice look like? What does balance and harmony mean? When we are in harmony in the eye of a storm or in the eye of fire, we can be that divine light. And so I'm noticing her touching the jewel just above her high heart chakra, which interestingly enough does link to Mercury and also Chiron. Chiron, the wounded healer, actually from a chakra point of view within your aura, Divine Feminine, actually is the healing of your wounds, where we actually, and so yes, you could possibly tap. I wouldn't do any guided meditation during the eclipse. Now, each to their own, but what you do tend to find is that signature of the eclipse is actually going to do the job for you. It may not feel fantastic at the time, but after the fact, things will make a heck of a lot more sense because you've allowed the vibration to bring up, to purge out, to transform, to, go through that tunnel. That tunnel is where that transformation happens. So, and it does not have to be something negative. This can be for some quite beautiful. So use that vibration. And I'm noticing she's got a brooch that is hanging that looks a little bit like a compass. It's a pendulum. Things are swinging. I'm also noticing the jewel on her third eye. So it's a head and a heart. It's healing. It's your viewpoint. You may want to be safe. It can bring about the Mars energy. She has the red coming through. And the snake energy can actually link to the Piscean energy because next year we are moving into the year of the snake. And so the snake can symbolize, which to me spiritually, I was seeing a shedding of the skin, protectiveness, needing to strike when we need to, but also from a higher perspective, looking at it from that perspective, looking at ways that you can moderate that vibration so it's not directly controlling you, you're controlling it. And that's going to be a huge challenge for all of us collectively moving into 2025 as we have planets transitioning and how it's going to impact the way you're viewing your twin flame path. These vibrations, returning to love. Now, returning to love doesn't mean, hey, I think this is also blooming beautiful. It's, no, I'm not going to allow this vibration to affect me any further than it really has. I'm actually going to look at this from a higher perspective, that I can unconditionally say, hey, I may not understand the reasons why people, places, and things have hurt me. But I know inside I'm a good person, and I'm not going to carry that like a burden, because, you know, carrying that vibration and going into that memory system constantly, but what it's doing is holding you hostage. It's holding you in this holding pattern, and it's preventing you from being open to brand new possibilities. And I feel Divine Feminine is, yes, they can be paying attention to their parents, paying attention to the things that are very important in their life, and shifting that focus onto it, which is really raising your vibration. And I feel there could be some justice, in a sense that the tides are changing. Okay, so if you had been going through very, very hard times, I feel you are looking within your power what you can do to change that, and B, I feel it's the good karma coming towards you. But definitely you have spiritually really needed to be gentle with yourself with the North Node in Aries this year. Because we have had to find that new identity inside ourselves as individuals, sometimes initially, potentially, away from the counterpart energy. As we are going through that, we're actually being guided by the light and transforming through that vibe. So yes, I do feel Divine Feminine can be looking after their wellness, you know, changing appearance. If you're going to do anything to that degree, I wouldn't do anything yet. And what do I mean by that? More permanent things like cutting the hair off and things to that degree, I'll probably leave it about 4 weeks if possible. You want to get away from the eclipses so that you aren't responding to the vibration. You are allowing it to settle, and you are saying to yourself, okay, this still resonates with me. I'm ready to do that. So I'll probably give it a little bit of time. Now, as we're looking to your past position, let's take a look. For many of you, you do feel that, you know, you felt that you were patient. You really did feel you were patient with many, many things in your life, but your patience has run thin. So you might be self-critical towards certain things all of a sudden, but you also feel you would really, a lot of it was to do with the tension points, the stresses. So you can be having revelations towards your frustrations and your feeling as though things have taken way too long to really blossom and bloom and transform into where you need things to be. We do have in the heart of the situation that you are being gentle on yourself, even if you feel, oh my gosh, was I a bit harsh? Some information and revelations might be coming to you. Am I being unrealistic? For some of you, not all of you. However this is relating, your patience is running thin. You're spiritually needing to be gentle with yourself. You're going through a healing portal. This can be a lot of inner child. I'm noticing the glowing energy coming through in the heart of it. And she's actually holding the yellow chakra, which can be the inner child, confidence, courage, creativity, maybe not knowing how to go about it, maybe feeling also still a bit sensitive where it comes to circumstances surrounding courage and confidence as well. We do have you are looking to the future and what you're wanting to do, and I feel this for a lot of you. You don't want to be in that dark energy. You also could be protecting yourself. This could be in a portal sense because we have just moved away from the previous eclipse. It's still lingering. It will be playing out over the next 6 months. Gradually, we'll be working on those areas spiritually from the crown chakra and also psychic attacks. So, you know, if you do need to use crystals, you can use, what would I say, obstinate. And I would say if you're finding you're having out-of-body experiences, night terrors, psychic attacks, almost like you're embodying another person's energy or you're feeling an ick, good time prior to the eclipse, I would say. An easier way to clear it would be to tune out of a particular individual who really gives you the craps. That could be a karmic individual. It could be the direct situation within your twin flame path. Clearing it by having a shower. You can use Epsom salts in a bath. I wouldn't use aromatics at this point. I'd just keep it as natural as possible. Really keeping up your hydration. But I feel as though the healing is going to free you from this vicious cycle that you have been in spiritually for quite a while. And that's not judgment. That's part of the ascension process. My daughter mentioned to me today, she said to me, Mum, I want to get all the chakras. I want to get the 7 chakras. I said there's more than 7. And she says, I want to get the chakra symbol tattooed on me. Again, Chiron is retrograde at the moment. Our healing can be more so. It can take a lot longer. Generally, that is not medical advice. Based on information, it shows that you tend to be a bit more susceptible to inflammation and things to that degree. Do your research, though. Separately, I mentioned to her, from my personal experience, when I was going through my ascension process, there was a point where I was doing guided meditation with all the chakras. And it really drained me. And it also, what occurred is a bit like tapping, a bit like opening a wound, except unfortunately, because you're working on every chakra, you're actually opening up every portal for a wound. And it can really break you down and run you down. So, guided meditation and vibration energy work, it's naturally going to come up, and it naturally then can be dealt with. And generally, it'll be in 1 or 2 areas that can be quite key. And as an example point, at this point in time, depending on your zodiac, I can actually pick where your chakra is going to be quite active, especially with the larger body planets, and what those kind of themes are going to be. So it could be more permanent crystals or jewels you could wear. You'd still need to clear them, but I would not, I wouldn't do the meditation on all 7 at once. It's going to break you down. It's going to create a big purge, one that maybe can break you down. Separately, having symbols like that all in a hit is going to cause a permanency of such, and you don't want that either. So it's not that meditation, the chakra points, in my opinion, are bad. It's that you are going to transition through that, because you're going to move them into a harmonic, into a harmony, and, a mandala or something to that degree, potentially. But I do see you here, Divine Feminine. You're actually going to come through this. So it's showing this energy, this higher heart chakra, this healing, this purgatory experience. You're going to be moving through it. And you may not know why you had to go through this, but future tense, you're going to. And I feel as you're going through this, be it you're picking up on twins energy, be it you're picking up on a kind of portal you're moving through and a transformation, you may try to psychoanalyze this. You may try to say, why is this happening? Am I detaching? Is this ever going to be? It's like giving it a lobotomy. What you want to do is just move through the portal. Allow those questions for later, because what would come up if you do that is you're adding to your plate and you're trying to get through it, and then to address any additional situations as you proceed forward. But many of you can be asking what this whole part's for. Very, very common after an eclipse in Pisces, trust me. And we're going into another one. Okay, this is a rebirth. So, sometimes we can spiritually, if we are going through a purgatory experience and it's very large, what can happen is it's almost like we can have a soul walk in. It's too heavy. And that's why, for some of you, it could be a very specific individual that is listening to this, that needed to hear this information, that if you feel quite foreign, again, we do have the Aries North Node. We are reconnecting to our true core. So what is that going to mean? It's going to mean that you could feel initially like you're going through an existential crisis. You could feel like you don't even know who you are anymore and what you're going to do and where you're going to go. That's okay. It's because it's like a rebirth. Your signature and your truth will come to you. Don't feel you're going backwards. Sometimes we revisit certain circumstances, and also you could feel like you're descending and you're not ascending, but you're closer than you think. We may go through the 7 stages of healing. This is really preparing you spiritually for a brand new cycle. And I want you to please, please trust this. inside your journey, inside your connection, inside the world and your life. We will check in with this energy next week. If you do need a personal booking, all the information is in the info clip, or wherever you're watching it from, the information is in the info box directly below. Take care, and I'll see you next week.